right here on Hip Hop Connection. Got a very special show for you. In studio guest goes by the name of Isaiah Washington. We're going to talk about his new book and a whole lot of things, so you stay tuned right here. Mr. Washington, how you doing, sir?
I'm blessed. I cannot complain.
Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you.
It's got to actually see you in person.
Right, in person. We're finally face to face. A Man from Another Land, How Finding My Roots Changed My Life is the name of the book.
Mm-hmm. How
did you find your roots?
Ooh, well, scientifically, the divine timing came around October of 2004, where the year before that I saw one of my heroes, Melvin Van Peebles, receive an award called the Lifetime Achievement Award with an organization called Pan African Film Festival in Los Angeles. So I had been following since I left Brooklyn and got to Los Angeles. I went religiously every year because I was attracted to all the African filmmakers and African film. And I was like, since I can't afford to get to Africa yet, this is as close as it's going to get. And over time, I became known as being a support system. As my celebrity began to grow, people started thinking me less and less of a Pan-Africanist and now more and more of an actor while I was there. And in 2004, he received that award, and I made the comment that I would love to receive an award from this organization just because it's an African organization, and I think it would be important and really cool. I just happened to be on a hit show that year, shooting the pilot, and then the next year it was just becoming a huge hit. So obviously, I was a good candidate to receive the Canada Lee Award, which would be a wonderful trade-off, but I agreed to do it only because I would bring my brand and the ABC's brand, the TV show brand, and hopefully get some more attention to the Pan-African Film Festival people, let the world know what they're doing. But inside of that, they asked me to do a DNA test. Moza Cooper, who I give her own chapter, and she asked me to take this DNA test, and I turned her down flat. I was one of those people that were ignorant. I didn't know. Like, the last time I heard of DNA, I was wrapped around O.J. Simpson. You know what I mean? So I was like,
you're gonna link me to some
you're gonna link me. Well, I'm not doing this. So, but once Gina Page of African Ancestry allayed my fears and said we are a private-owned company, private genetic history. We have no affiliation with any forensic organization or military or local enforcement organizations, and that I would become anonymous and just be a number. I asked them some questions about cloning. She said, well, there's only 300 parts of your DNA that we're going to take from the mitochondrial DNA, and in fact that it takes 3 billion parts to create a human being. And then she said, I said in the book, she says, anyway, who would want to clone you, Isaiah?
Wow.
So when she hit me with that, I was very humbled. So I said, I'm taking a test. And after that, I was just kind of like, when you take any test, like when I took my first HIV test, I was on pins and needles to get the result. And then I found myself could not wait. Found myself dreaming about what it would be like to find out, this, that, and the other. And sure enough, come February, I'm there to receive the Canada Lee Award. And they give me my results. Dr. Rick Kittles gives me my results in front of all the people who have been tested, agreed to be tested and receive the awards. Was Congresswoman Diane Watson, Vanessa Williams from the Soul Food fame for Showtime. Some would say, excuse me, the light skin, dark skin, or the dark skin one. If that helps. But it's to Vanessa Williams. But they went first, and we found out that Diane Watson, Congresswoman Watson, was out of Central Republic of Africa. She was out of that. We next went out with Vanessa. We found out that she was Dakar, out of Cameroon. And then came me. And I heard him say, you're of the Mindi Timni people of Sierra Leone, and you can go to the website of African Ancestry, you can go to Google, you see two moments, one from Gray's and Golden Globes, and the other one from my response to getting my results. I screamed like a poltergeist came out of my body. And I talk about it, I explain it in the book in detail and what that was about and why the response was so visceral. Is because all my young adulthood, since the age of 9, I had been having this dream about myself running through some greenish area that looked much like my neighborhood in Houston, Texas, and what we call these open sand lots. But also very reminiscent of what I would presume would be an African village. And we can get to that later. But I had been having this dream, what I call the rerun, that I couldn't remember, but I knew I had the same dream. It's like you have a dream, and it's almost like I said in one conversation, is that this would be the hit book or the hit movie if you could just remember what it was. You know that you're in that dream, and you know when you wake up, you're gonna be a multimillionaire, because when you write this story down, Hollywood is gonna come calling. It's gonna be the greatest book, greatest TV show. Right. The alarm goes off. You know you have this dream. You know it. You have it memorized from the beginning, middle, and end. You've been dreaming all night about it. Right. And all you got to do is wake up and just write it down. Right. Well, my whole life I felt like that, and every single time I woke up, I couldn't remember it. So that cut to this journey. Okay. Is that once I took that test, man, it opened up a door of research, and what I was on a collision course of not only finding who I am and what I'm from, but also finding the significance of Sierra Leone, Buns Island, to the development of this experiment called the United States of America. Okay. Okay. When we come back, I want you to give your definition of roots, like what that means to you. Okay. Back here on Hip Hop Connection. And we're back in studio with Isaiah Washington, talking about his new book, A Man from Another Land. Want you to give your definition of roots. What does that mean to you? Yeah, as I said before, knowing your roots is, and definitively when you're speaking scientifically, it's the atom or the mitochondrial Eve has come out of the creator of humanity, has come out of Africa, and the strongest tree has the deepest roots. And as we know, anthropologically speaking, Africans and people of African descent are the oldest people on the planet. Okay. Okay. For me, finding my roots relieved me of all the animus that I thought I had pent up over my whole life. Okay. And what I mean by that is that once I got a sense of the people that I come from and did my research on them, I began to see patterns of the people, whether they had migrated or were nomads from Central or North or whatever, over, you're talking thousands of years, millions of years, they are now in an area called Sierra Leone. Okay. And what I was able to find about their behaviors, their food, their culture, was very in line with the behaviors of my grandmothers and my great-grandmother. And when I got to Sierra Leone, I saw my aunts, their faces, my cousins, they looked like me. Then I was able to justify why people would meet me around the world, in Canada and Sweden and Germany in my travels, or Singapore, and even in Namibia, and accost me and accuse me of not speaking my language, because there was something in my mask, my face, that reminded them so much of their relatives, the Wolof out of Senegal, or somewhere, the Ovamba, or the Namba. They're like, how can you be an African American or American, speak your language? And I talk about that. And they said, where are you from? And I said, Houston. No, where are you from? Brooklyn. Where are you from? America. I don't know. And it was always this daunting feeling that I didn't know my people, my language, my origins, my roots. So after taking this DNA test, it freed me of all of that. You know, it freed me of all of that. So I don't have that inferior superiority game I want to play. I don't care about playing those kinds of mental gymnastics at this point, because I know who I am and I know where I come from. So now when I look at the people and what the struggle, even recently in the 11-year war, and just look like how my aunts didn't talk to each other because one wanted to put some turkey neck in the collard greens and the other one wanted ham, and they didn't talk to each other for 20 years. Wow. So now I can understand why the Mendocino people will be, you know, at unrest for 11 years. It began to resolve a lot of the issues that I just observed as a child. So I believe that individuals who take these DNA tests will find not only their roots historically and scientifically, culturally, but they'll also find and redefine a sense of self where I don't have to feel like there's another ethnicity out there that has more information or is any more special than I am. Okay. That's what it means for me.